Hello, dear Odooers. At Stealthy Wood, when we have on-site jobs, we charge our customers by the actual time spent on the task. That way we don't overcharge them or undercharge them. Our customers can also sign off on a worksheet report which documents what was done. That way we can invoice our services and products used right away. This gives everyone the certainty that only the exact time and materials used are charged, and it makes the whole flow efficient and convenient. Now let's see how we can manage all of this inside of Stealthy Wood's database. All right, here I am on my database already on the field service application. So let's now go to configuration, settings, and we want to be sure we have two options activated, time and material, as well as worksheets. And by default, all of your projects, new and old, will have the related options enabled under each project settings. And you can, of course, edit each project individually and disable them if necessary. But since I have these already enabled, we're now going to create a custom worksheet for our 3D printer project using the Studio application. And if it's not already installed, it will be once you enable the worksheets option here. And we're going to create this for our workers. They will have to complete it when they're on site. So let's go ahead and jump back to configuration, projects. Then we're going to click on 3D printer. And I'm going to click on edit, go to the settings tab. And then here I will see that I have worksheets already enabled, of course, and then I can select a worksheet. But what we're going to do is actually just modify this default worksheet that we already have here. So let's select that and we'll click on edit again. And the first thing I'm going to do is to edit the name. So instead of a default worksheet, I'm going to say 3D printer worksheet so that we know what this worksheet is for. I can select a company if I'm in a multi-company environment and the color as well. And then we're going to save this. We're actually going to design the worksheet template. So I'm going to click on that button and Studio will be open so I can add fields and also modify those that are already there. And the first field that I will add will be a selection field. So I'm just going to drag it and drop it. And of course, I will need to add some possible values. So in this case, it will be the type of intervention. So we're going to say installation. I'll click on enter on my keyboard in order to go to the next value or click on the check. All right. We also have maintenance. And repair will be our last one. And then I'm going to click on confirm. And once it's saved, I'm going to relabel this, which I can do on the left here. So I'm going to say intervention type. All right. And once that's done, we're actually going to relabel that field that was already existing, the comments. So I'm just going to select the field and I'm going to relabel it to description of intervention. Okay, looks good. And then we're going to add a couple more fields. So the first one is going to be a date field, or the next one, I should say, which of course we will relabel as well. So instead of new date, we're just going to say date. Keep it simple. And then lastly, we are going to add a signature field. So let's go back to add. Go to signature, drag it and drop it where we would like it to be. And surprise, surprise, we're going to relabel this from new signature to worker signature. Just like that. Now this is going to be our default worksheet for the 3D printer project, but you can set different worksheets to different tasks under the same project if you would like to. And then as you can see here, I also have several other fields that I can use for this worksheet. And if you want to know more about Studio, be sure you check out our Studio videos. So since this is saved, as we can see, let's go ahead and close this. And then we're going to create a new task. So I'm going to jump back to my dashboard, my field service dashboard, and I'm going to click on create. And we're going to create this task so we can concretely see how we can use the worksheet we just created, as well as how we can invoice time and material to our customers as well. So the first thing we're going to need, of course, is a task title. So let's say Model 6 maintenance. All right, and then I'm going to select my customer, which in this case will be Azure Interior. And then I can also link an existing sales order or create a sales order for this task as well. And then for the project, we're going to have 3D printer. The worksheet template, of course, is going to be the one that we just created. However, if the task required it, we could select another worksheet as well. All right, it will be assigned to me. We're going to plan this for tomorrow. Let's say from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock. All right, and we're going to go ahead and apply that. We can add some tags, and then we're also going to add a sales order item as well. So here we can select the service product from our sales order so we can invoice the right price. And if you haven't created a sales order yet, and one will be created, you will be able to add the service price at a later stage. All right, so let's go ahead and save this, although we could add our description if we wanted to. So nice, we have our task, we have an overview, all of the details, which we've just added. And of course, we will need to add some timesheets as well as some products when we're actually on site. So let's say, okay, I went to Azure Interior, I did what I had to do. Now I'm ready to add some timesheets because I want to invoice the customer for my time. All right, so we're going to go ahead and add a timesheet. So the description, let's say completed. It's not really a nice description, but that's will be fine for now. 2 hours. All right, we can also add some products as well by clicking on this smart button, and then we have all of our products. I'm going to say I used a few bolts, so I can add some by clicking on plus, or I can just select to add the quantity as well. And what's really great is that we can also track or use products that are tracked by lots or serial numbers. So that's really convenient. And then we're going to go back to our task and we're going to see that we added those 4 products as well as the total for the products. We'll have that nice overview directly here from the task. And then we can also complete the worksheet once we're done. So let's go ahead and click on worksheet. All right, we can add our description. So we'll say maintenance, blah, blah, blah. Of course, we wouldn't say that for real. I would hope not. We're going to add the intervention type, the date, and I can also add a signature, which I can draw, or I can load a signature as well if I would like to. So we're going to adopt and sign this and save. When I jump back to the task, I'm also going to see now that the worksheet is completed. So this is really great because we'll have an overview of what we have or haven't done here. So I've added the products, I've completed the worksheet as well. So now we're ready to mark this task as done. So let's go ahead and click on that button, which will move the task from new to done. It will also update the inventory and make the option to create an invoice available. But before we create the invoice, we want the customer to sign the full worksheet report, which will contain what we just completed. So the worksheet, of course, the materials that we use, as well as the timesheet. So let's go ahead and click on Sign Report. And here we're going to have the customer view. So they will have an overview of everything, and we can also send the report by email as well if we would like to. All right, so we have the products that I used as well as those 2 hours that I recorded, and then we have the worksheet details here. So let's go ahead and sign this. We can draw a signature again. We can auto load it. I'm going to change the style, or we can load it from a signature that we have saved if we have one saved on the device. All right, it's going to say thank you, and then we can jump back to the edit mode. And here we can create the invoice, but if we don't want to create the invoice straight away, we can always quickly find all of the tasks that are ready to be invoiced under All Tasks and to Invoice. And this is great if we want to quickly create multiple invoices at once. So we will just select one or more of these tasks, go to Action, Create Invoice, create and view the invoice. All right, we see those items again, and then we can confirm. All right, and the invoice has been validated. So you'll notice that everything here, this entire flow was managed directly within the field service application, from creating the task, completing the worksheet, to invoicing the customer. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. And if I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.